So we have now tested that our measurement model is fine, the fit of the model is okay, and the constructs are discriminant from each other. So we go to the structural model. So we will save this model and we will rename it as S model, right? So which stands for structural model. So we will have another model now, which is the structural model, and we will now delete these double direction arrows, right? So now we actually want to test the paths between these latent factors. Now we are going to come to the actual thing for which we have done all this background work. For last 2.5 days, we have been working on this, right? So we have to now check the regressions between these constructs. So what is it that we do? We say, okay, leadership to creative behavior. So we want to model this diagram, right? Remember this. We want to model this. So leadership to PJ and leadership to CB. Okay. So similarly, we go to the, and then there should be a path from PJ to CB as well. So that is what we are doing here. So we are creating a path from leadership to CB, creative behavior, leadership to procedural justice, and then there will be a path from procedural justice to creative. Right? So these are the paths that we test. Right? And now, because there is only one independent factor, which is leadership, and we have two dependent constructs, which is creative behavior and procedural justice, we will have to attach the error term, right? So we will have to model the structural error. Now this is a structural model and these are structural paths. So we have three structural paths: leadership to procedural justice, leadership to creative behavior, and procedural justice to creative behavior. So we have these three structural paths and we have these error terms. So we will rename these error terms. So we have gone up to E24. So we will call this as E25. And we will call this error term as E26. So we have the two structural errors also now, E25 and E26. Right, so this is our structural model that is ready. And now we will go to the analysis properties. Now we want to also report the effects, right? What the path coefficients. So we will go to the analysis properties and we will ask the software to also report direct, indirect, direct, and total effects. I will tell you what it means in a while. Okay, apart from the other things, okay, that we want to do, we want to also report indirect, direct, and total paths. And we will also now, because we are talking about the paths, we will want to report the R square, which is the square multiple correlation. So you will have to click on the square multiple correlations, which is an estimate of the R square that will be the explained variance in the for each of these constructs. So we close this and then we run the analysis. Now the analysis has run and we go to the output. Now you will see here that the fit of the model will be exactly the same as the fit that we had achieved in the measurement model, right? So this is 251, 159, and
there is some error which I think I've encountered. Degrees of freedom, I got it as 175.